Hey everybody, Coach Powers here. I know it's been a little bit, about 4 months, I think, since I've done a video. I wanted to launch back with something new and just give you guys essentially a bunch of updates about what's been going on, what's to come. So first thing is I want to talk about Lake of Fire. You guys have probably been following me. You've seen the trailer. You know I've been talking about this film for the last few years that we created. It's been a long time coming. We finally finished it in November, had a private reception at a theater in Orlando. Went amazing. And essentially what you need to know is the film is now being run through a series of film festivals around the country and the planet, in different countries as well. And as soon as it's done with its run, then I will have it available for everyone. Likely it'll still be on YouTube, but we're also trying to get it some distribution on Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, that kind of thing. So in the meantime, I can't share it publicly or else the film festivals won't accept it. So that's kind of why my hands are tied. Otherwise, the film is completely finished. Sounds, looks, I'm very proud of it. I mean, just so proud of it. And like I said, we had a reception in November at the Ritz Theater in Sanford, just outside Orlando, basically like Orlando area here in Florida. And we had just a small reception with, mostly cast and crew, some family, friends. And I even had a few of my students from my Benzo recovery school attend, which was very cool, very special. And I'll tell you one thing that I didn't count on was the reception being so good with people who had nothing to do with no knowledge about benzos. That really shocked me. I mean, I had a strong sense that this film would be well received in the benzo community, but for the average person, that blew me away. I mean, the movie ended in the theater, and for the next 20 minutes people were still coming up to me with tears in their eyes, people that knew nothing about benzos, and just said the movie touched them. I had people telling me, the friends of family, that again knew nothing about benzos, that this was such an eye-opener and that it really touched on fear and family dynamics and mental health and all these kind of things. It was really mind-blowing. I could not believe we had that good of a reception. So cannot wait for you guys to see it. I'm so proud of this movie. Granted, I'm an indie filmmaker. I really work as a coach with a PhD in clinical psychology, but I've been making film and art for 20 years. This is not a Hollywood film, obviously, right? It's not $100 million. It's not even $1 million. It's a very, very small micro budget with a team of committed artists and really good cast and crew, like really good actors, really good quality. I think when you see this, you're going to be pleasantly impressed and pleased with just how it feels, how it sounds, the quality. I mean, people I've shown it to said it looks like anything that's on Netflix, so I guess that's pretty good. People hear what they see, so you want it to be a certain quality anyway. So that's coming out summer 2025, so this year. I will have that out late summer, most likely. And yeah, that's that. So another piece of news, I'm pre-production on two very special benzo-related projects. One is a benzo recovery, benzo documentary. I'm say benzo informational documentary. So I will be posting more on that coming soon. I'm going to be interviewing doctors and pharmacists and scientists and researchers and benzo people and you name it. And I'm going to go deep on this thing in my way of trying to, shed more light in a more educational format, whereas the film was more narrative driven. The film was not so much for us as it was for our friends and family and spreading awareness and that kind of thing. So the documentary will be all about education, about this drug, what it does, why it does it, the whole, big picture. Outside of that, something I'm probably even more excited, because there's a few benzo documentaries out there, still worth pushing the message and getting that out. But probably what I'm even more excited about is this new project that I'm working on, creating a a mini series based off of the film. So when you watch the film, if you really like it and you like the characters, there's going to be a kind of spin-off, 6 episodes, 30 minutes. Not everything. It's not going to be totally built on the world that was created in the film, but there'll be a few people that make an appearance, and it'll allow me to tell a bigger story, cover a lot more ground in the Benzo community and the things that we face. And to just normalize it, just to validate us. And I think film and television has a way of doing that like no other medium, So I'll give you more information on that soon. I'm really excited. I think we'll probably get started around the summer. Everything's pre-production right now. 2 more pieces of information while I have your attention. I released a book late last year, called The 15 Phases of Withdrawal and Recovery. Super, super, super proud of that book. It encompasses so much of my teachings and lays out a recovery roadmap for what I observed over the last decade, working with literally over 1,000 people from around the planet. Different phases. You see a lot of trends, phases that people fell into and got stuck in. And it offered me an opportunity to not only provide a roadmap and break things down, but to also share insight into each one of those chapters, such as the yo-yo phase. This is a phase where we're kind of bouncing or oscillating between windows and waves over and over again. And so I shed a lot of light on that. What is that? Why does it happen? And what can we do to improve the situation? And my advice is really, based on my own experience and evidence. So when I say these things can work, I really mean it. They're not theories. They're, as far as I'm concerned, tried, tested, and proven effective hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, right? So check that book out if you want an ebook version of it. If that's your thing, I have that on my website, powersbenzocoaching.com. Otherwise, you can go to Amazon and order the hard copy. I'm also 80,000 words deep on a massive 2nd edition revision of the Powers Manual. I wrote the Powers Manual in 2018. At that time, I wasn't sure if I was really going to stay in the community, and I think I had my one foot out and just thought, well, I'll put out some information, I'll do my good part, and then I'll get back to other things. And it just didn't happen that way. I mean, the deeper I got, the more I wanted to stay and help this community. And now I'm completely 100% invested in that. And so, over the last 6-7 years since I wrote that book, my approach has changed a lot. It's become a lot more revised. And this has been the one formula I have been working on and trying to solve, the one riddle for the last 13 years, since 2010. 15 years, roughly? No, maybe 15 years. I'm really calling about 13, but, because it took me 2 years to come off the benzo. And I think but really my work started well before then. I mean, 2010, 2011, I was going full force in my own recovery and running all these experiments and learning so much. And in that time, obviously, I've learned a ton more. I've got my PhD in psychology. I opened a school, and I've worked with so many people. And just the experience of working with so many people for so long now, that alone has given me different insights. So if you've read the Powers Manual, it's kind of an easy, quick, short guide. The new one, the 2nd edition, is going to be massively revised. And I think it'll be it's just a much better tool or a manual for recovery. I mean, it will cover all kinds of things and actually give you more in-depth tools on what to do about this stuff. So there's that. 2 books, 2 film projects, plus the Benzo recovery feature film, which is coming out soon. I know I've been away for a while. I've been spending so much time working on all these things, working full-time as a coach. I launched my school a year and a half ago. We've grown that over 100 members, wonderful, wonderful people, and so much of my time goes into that. So if you're a fan of mine, or you just want more information or interaction with me, even, the school's like $30 a month. I'm in it daily. We do live Sunday Zoom meetings for about 2 or 3 hours on all kinds of topics, Benzo-related, and even other things psychology related. I have two coaches now. I have Coach Chris, who is an insomnia expert. He's doing live Zooms bi-weekly in the school. Very, very cool guy. I think he has the best method for insomnia recovery. Yes, even during during withdrawal and recovery. Highly recommend that guy. And Coach Crystal, who's been with me for a long time, and she's another amazing person. She runs faith coaching and support coaching bi-weekly, weekly, kind of toggle back and forth right now. And she's amazing. She has such a credible story. She's going to be on the podcast soon, so I can share her story and introduce her to you guys. Probably many of you watching this already are familiar with her. Like I said, crazy story. What she's come back to is really inspiring, and she's so healthy and just such a deeply empathic and knowledgeable person. So I'm putting together this sort of Avengers team or something, of just some of the most awesome people I can find, and covering all the bases. So more to come on that. My goal for the school is to bring in even more people, diet and nutrition specialists and taper specialists, and just have an array of people and resources to help us navigate this, because as I always say, it's bigger than just tapering. I know that's what most of us focus on, but recovery is so much bigger than tapering. Once you understand what this drug truly is, what parts of the brain it truly impacts, and what these parts of the brain does, why it does what it does, then you start to get some clues into how to kind of navigate that. And let me tell you, if you're skeptical, there is so much more you can do to help mitigate and reduce your symptoms, stop new symptoms from manifesting into worse things, and removing all the fear, or as much as possible, the irrational fear that got added through this sort of sometimes fear-driven benzo community, and give yourself real tools that will keep you off the drug, right? Because we all got put on a benzo for a reason, and it's very important that we figure out how to navigate that. And you know what? Things have changed a lot. It's the old days of just laying on the couch and us, the therapist just listening to you talk and then basically giving you some breathing exercise. Like, I think we're kind of moving past that. And now we're looking at things like neuroplasticity, brain retraining, diet, nutrition. Like, we're looking at it as multi-dimensional, multi-faceted, and we're approaching it from every angle. And I've had wild success. Personally, I think the best success in the benzo community, I would argue. Maybe I can't truly make that statement, and obviously I'm biased, but I just see how many people graduate the school, get their life back. People that come into the school and they're, deep in their withdrawal, think they're completely hopeless, and with even a month, suddenly you see these people disengaging from fear, lowering their symptoms, stabilizing, and being able to move forward. And within a few months, they're like taking their kids to soccer games and traveling and doing things. Not everyone, of course, but I mean, there is just remarkable progress and positivity in the school that you would not believe. It's definitely worth seeing. So, okay, that's a lot. That's my my February update on all things benzo and powers right now going on. So keep your eye out for some more updates on those things individually. I will be hosting a Q&A soon here on YouTube. Let me know in the comments if there are certain topics that you would like me to address, questions, things like that, and maybe I'll address them in the next video. All right, guys, thank you so much for your support. Means a lot to me, and I'll see you next time. Until then, keep your head up. You will recover, and that is a promise.
Hey everyone, I'm Coach Powers, and I'm excited to announce the launch of my new online Benzo Recovery School. The school launched with Module 1 and will have a total of 4 modules, each module with a dozen or more video lessons. Here are some contents in Module 1. This creates the basis for my recovery program. If you know anything about my approach to benzo recovery, you know I'm a bit different than other benzo coaches in that I do not subscribe to the lay and pray model of recovery. Instead, I believe benzo injury is a kind of neurological injury that requires neurological rehabilitation. This neurological rehabilitation encompasses learning how to access our good chemistry while also reducing the so-called bad chemistry, cortisol and adrenaline, and also learning how to lull down our hypervigilant limbic system. This includes learning techniques in CBT, DBT, mindfulness therapy, and neuroplasticity building. Now, I've studied clinical psychology for the last 15 years of my life, and my benzo recovery program encompasses the same things that I use to make my own recovery after a 10-year, 40 milligram Valium dependence. My recovery program observes 4 stages of recovery with 3 tiers of development. In fact, my stages are all focused on development. This makes them different than the 3 obvious stages of recovery, which include the pre-taper, the taper, and post-taper. Instead, my stages serve as a kind of developmental roadmap, with each stage serving as a bridge to the following stage. These 4 stages include Stage 1, restoring hope; Stage 2, the new beginning; Stage 3, the montage; and Stage 4, coming home. Perhaps most importantly, each stage has 3 key learning goals and also 3 key roadblocks. These stages revealed themselves to me after years of working with literally thousands of people from all around the world. After enough experience, you begin to see patterns and trends, and you see where people triumph and what roadblocks can prevent them from moving forward. Now remember, just because you may have come off your benzo doesn't mean you automatically reach stage 4, the final stage. Again, these are developmental stages, which is why someone can come off of their benzo and still be stuck in their recovery. In fact, it's entirely possible to come off of your benzo and be stuck in stage 1. Here are some other features the online Benzo Recovery School offers. Aside from being a school, it's also a positive focused support group. And believe me when I tell you, my students are a different breed of benzo warriors. They are wise, they are driven, and they understand the mission. I, Coach Powers, will also be doing live video Q&A weekly in the community, talking, teaching, and answering questions from all of you. There will be downloadable resources such as a rumination and exposure therapy log, templates for checklists, and much more. Additionally, there will be new benzo sleep affirmation videos exclusive for the school, as well as new and early original content. There will be a regular benzo blog, benzo-related news, and even a private early screening for my benzo recovery feature film, Lake of Fire. All of this and only for a special introductory rate of $30 monthly while time lasts. So come join the positive community and let's work together on facilitating our recovery. See you there.